Hi there, and thank you for watching this training. My name is Michael Carney, and I'm with Selling Securely on Amazon, an omni-channel online retailer. So today what we're going to be talking about is how to price check our items that are currently listed in inventory, match them up on our manifest list, and ultimately make sure that all of our pricing is accurate and recorded. So a little background on this. In this particular instance, the majority of the items that are going to be on that manifest are going to be bulk purchases that were batch loaded. A lot of the pricing changes day by day by a couple pennies, 10 cents, what have you. And we just need to make sure that we stay up to date on that. Currently it's a manual process. At some point we'll be moving on to an automated process. However, today this is how we do it. I've got a whiteboard in front of me here, so if I'm glancing over there, it's because that's where all my notes are. So let's get started right away. So again, this is the training video on what to do with your eBay products, and at this point we're going to jump over to our screen, and I'll see you in just a moment. Okay, so right now we're going to be looking at our Amazon seller app, and it doesn't really fit in the screen well. Still not wanting to play nice. I've just scooted over here. So if you're on the Amazon seller app, you're going to want to come into our inventory right here, and at that point you're going to go into manage inventory. Once you're into manage inventory, you're going to be able to see all of the items that we currently have listed. The most important part of this project, not only is it having to do with the price of each item, but it also has the ASIN, the Amazon serial number, and the Skew. Now what you might find on some of the manifest is that when you get into your Google Docs, that occasionally you're going to run into UPCs that don't have the leading 0 on them. That's going to be one of the things that you got to update as you go along, just to verify that information is going to be accurate. So you can typically do that. It's pretty straightforward. All the Amazon items have a photo that's next to them, but we got to make sure that 1, we've got the correct ASIN in there, 2, we've got the correct Skew, and then we're going to want to make sure that our pricing is correct. So let's just scroll down here. So we've got this item right here. It's the Genova Products item, and we can see that there's an ASIN right there. So ultimately, screen's kind of jumping around on me here. Bear with the connection just a moment. Alright, well, I guess it's jumping around a little bit, so we'll just pick something else out here. So we got the San Jose Sharks. We'll not do that. Let's say, alright, so the Heat Max Hot Hands, it's got that ASIN number. Just going to copy that, come over into our inventory, Control, Make sure that you're not inside of a cell, so you're not like that. Make sure you're outside of a cell. If you hit Control F, you'll end up with finding a sheet. It's going to pop up in your screen right here. You can do Control V, paste, however you need to do that. It's going to bring you right to the number that's listed there, if it's listed. And as you can see, it's highlighted the box right there. So you can confirm based on the description that that is accurate. You got the heat max, hot hands. Pretty straightforward. One pair. So that's correct. You get a lot faster at this, obviously, as you start to get to know what the products are. So that's going to be what you're looking for. We've got a list price of $202. I'm sorry, of $220. Come back into your document. I'm just going to come right over here. This is going to be your price tab. Enter in the price. Hit enter. You're done. Now these are all going to be in dollar format. You don't necessarily have to worry about the count that's in there. The only situation where you're going to run into a potential issue is if we don't actually have an item listed. So as you're going through here, you're going to occasionally run into items like this one. This blue indicates that it wasn't listed or there was an issue with it. So I'm going to want to copy that, come over here, check in my inventory part, or my inventory field. Whether or not that Skew or that ASIN exists in my inventory. In this particular case, I don't have anything in my inventory. So when you run into this situation, you need to come over here to inventory, come down to add product, and you can come in here, paste your ASIN, hit search, and it's going to come up that this particular item has listing limitations. Nothing you can do about it, but we just want to make sure, as an example, that we're checking these to see whether or not we can get them listed. So right now this one's got listing limitations. We can't sell it. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Not your deal. However, when you do run into a situation, it's going to say right here, it's going to say sell yours. There'll be another training video on exactly how to add that, but just real quick, without getting into, it's not complicated. You hit sell yours. It'll pop up the next screen, which is basically, it'll say it'll give you the picture of the product, what the product is. You'll copy the UPC number. You're going to use that in the item ID. Just copy and paste that in there. It's going to ask you for quantity. If there happens to be a quantity listed in your manifest, then go ahead and list that quantity. I mean, if there's 17, list 17. If there's not, whatever it happens to be. So it's going to list quantity. It's going to ask you for its designation as far as new, like new, things of that nature. Everything we're doing is new at this point, so just go run with that. It's always going to be new. It's going to ask you, once you've entered in the designation for the item type, which is new, it's going to ask you if you want to match low price. For your purposes, always match low price, simply the way we do it. Once you've matched low price, it will basically highlight the save and continue on the bottom, the orange button, and go ahead and click that. It'll ask you to review your product or your item if everything looks correct. If you've forgotten something or something didn't go through, then it won't let you do that. Once you get to that screen, review it, hit go. It'll open up the next screen, which will be basically back into your manage inventory screen. And from that point, it'll have a it'll basically list right in the top of the screen up here that your new item has been listed, and at that point you're all done with that part. So really the focus for this project is get all the pricing in for all the items that you can. If you run into a situation where there is the need to add an item, please confirm both the ASIN and the UPC do not appear in the inventory screen. Make sure you're in the right inventory screen, manage inventory. Check both of them. If neither one shows up, go ahead, add the new item. If there is a discrepancy between an ASIN number or UPC, such as a leading zero is not present and it's supposed to be, such as this item right here, which is a Coleman 10-inch steel nail tent peg, those most likely it will have a leading zero. So you come in, you put a leading zero in there, and we'll just check our work quick. As a good example, make sure you're using your copy and paste features. Makes a huge difference in speed. I'm running a lot of software right now, so this is slowing it down a little bit. But most likely this is going to require a zero up here. And yeah, so as you can see, that zero is required. I've got two of them listed here. One of them actually, that one's incorrect. So when I run into duplicates like this is another caveat. When you run into a situation like that, where you're seeing duplicates of the exact same item, mark it. I really don't even need to mark it. Close the listing that's inaccurate and make a note of it on your daily inventory that this particular item, it's going to notify me that the listing was closed. It's just helpful to have the notes being sent back by virtual assistants letting me know why it was closed, and just list it as duplicate. Go ahead and list exactly what happened. You know, hey, I found this duplicate item here. Obviously this skew was incorrect. This was the right skew. If you come up here, take the zero off, you're going to have nothing that meets the criteria. So ultimately that's it. So make sure you come back in here, you list the product dollar amount, and then move on to the next one. So again, this is Michael Carney with Selling Securely. I appreciate you watching the training video. Please let me know if you have any questions, and we'll look forward to working with you. Thank you so much.